Okay, I am recording.
Okay.
Thank you all. Knock, knock. The time is 6:34 p.m. The date is Tuesday, January 26th. The year is 2021. The Personnel and Appointments Committee via Zoom is now called to order. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Counselor Smith,
Present.
Counselor Austin,
Present.
Counselor Stevenson. Okay. Counselor Martin is here, though he's not on your committee.
We truly appreciate it. As well, I believe I can speak for all my colleagues. We truly appreciate every citizen who took time out to join us tonight. I want to refresh and reintroduce the duties and responsibilities to the Personnel and Appointment Committee, because we haven't met in a while. Actually, this is my first Personnel and Appointments Committee meeting. This committee basically looks at personnel in 9 city departments: building and housing, community development, finance, fire, HR, IT, police, service, and law. In November of 2020, Council reviewed department staffing needs in its budgetary hearings. What came out of those meetings were the fact that the city is short-staffed and relies upon outside professional services to fill many personnel and service needs to serve the health, interest, rights, and needs of the people of East Cleveland. For instance, fire uses Life Force to supplement its EMS billing needs. Finance uses ADP for payroll. Police uses BCI to assist with investigations. HR uses comp management to help with workers' compensation issues. Building and housing uses certified consultants for asbestos surveys, etc. Recently, police and fire departments were using CCOM, a regional service for dispatching. However, CCOM is dismantling its services because it is going out of business. So, the city is in the process of advertising and reviewing applications for dispatchers. Interested parties should go to the city's website for more information about the dispatcher positions. Or interested parties can check with the HR director, Ms. Belinda Cow, at 216-681-2208 or 216-681-2211. What this committee aims to do is to help the city maximize the limited human resources that it has, so that those resources can best be utilized to serve the health, interest, rights, and needs of the people. Are there any questions or discussion about the reintroduction of the Personnel and Appointments Committee?
Yeah, I have a question if I can.
Yes, sir. No, take off.
Okay, we have a company that comes in and cleans the building 3 times a week, right?
Yes, sir.
So the young man who used to clean the building, he doesn't do it any longer? That's my question.
I believe that he's out on the streets with the service department. I believe he's been on the streets since I want to say the summertime.
But my question, Brother Smith, is so he doesn't do the cleaning, we rely on this company, and you know the name of the company that comes in to clean the building 3 times a week?
It's not in front of me.
Jan Pro.
Was that the finance director?
Jan Pro.
What is it? Sanpro?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes,
Jan,
Sanpro.
Jan.
Yeah, Jam.
J.
Oh, Jan Pro.
Pro, yeah, that's
So, Charles, the young man is used to clean the building. He doesn't do our building any longer.
No,
He doesn't.
he doesn't.
Okay, that was my question. So is he still working with us or what?
Yes,
But he just doesn't do.
he got transferred, as Councilor Smith already mentioned. He got transferred to work directly with the service department.
Okay. So he's a service worker now, huh?
That's correct.
Thank you.
thank you, Councilman Martin. Councilman Austin.
Greetings, Councilor Smith. I do have a couple of notes. I want to start out by saying I appreciate the breakdown for the professional services that the city uses in support of your committee. So I did not know the specific system that each department used, and that would fall under the professional services. So I hope the council can kind of take note of that necessity going forward. So yeah, I do appreciate the additional information and kind of give me a little bit more technically savvy about what each department uses for a system and or a service that is provided to help, as you said, the health, interests, rights, and needs of the people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mayor King, did you have a comment?
Brandon King. Brandon King. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, I've said Brandon's name 3
He's
times.
muted. He's muted.
Okay, so now I'm unmuted. I don't have many comments except to reiterate for Councilman Martin. The young man you're referring to does not clean City Hall anymore. However, he is still employed. He's with the service department, doing service department personnel work.
Well, that's good. He's a pretty good worker. What we talked about earlier, Brandon, am I going to get that information tomorrow?
Can you elaborate on that for me, please?
Yeah, what I sent you, I sent it to you twice today. The professional service line item and those things that I requested. Am I going to get that tomorrow?
Per your letter,
Yes.
Councilman Martin, I really appreciate the phone call earlier. And just for the record, you stated, we get you this information and council will be ready to move the legislation forward. 2021 appropriations, financial recovery plan, and the transfers. You said this should do it. This should do it. So I'm gonna have this to you tomorrow.
I can't speak for all of them, but it would help me to be able to act. I need those. If there was 3, 4 questions, I don't have it in front of me. I can run and get it. So if you had that for me, I'll come down and get it. Don't email it to me. I'll come to your office and do what I have to do to get in. I know it's difficult to get in there to get it. Thank you.
I'll have it ready for you tomorrow, Councilman Austin. Councilman Martin, and thank you for giving us your word that you'll move this stuff forward once you get it and you'll be able to review it.
And I'll share it with any other council person because my thing is, the big question is the professional line item. I don't want to spend too much time because it's Brother Smith's meeting, but that's what I'm at. The 3 things I put in there, I sent you twice today. If I get that answered, I can move on. Okay?
Excellent.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Brother Smith.
Comment on that?
No problem. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did see the memorandum that Councilor Martin generated, and I do appreciate his additional steps at this 11th hour to kind of get to the information that is actually required by this council. So, Councilor Martin, a high 5 to you. And if you receive the information that I have did some data mining to figure out most of it myself, I too would support the movement of those items and the passing of the annual appropriation, the redistribution of the funds to make sure that our funds do not show a deficit, as well as the appropriations required to move the resources to help the city realize the vision for 2021 and support of our departments, information during their budget hearings, as well as the necessities provided by the neighborhood groups that are very, 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 very active, as you know. So again, Councilor Martin, high five to you. And I would too support those pieces of legislation moving forward as well as being passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Austin. Thank you, Brother Smith. Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you all, matter of fact. Next, we have general updates. We have a few new hires that I'm happy to report on. As of today, a new interim fire chief was sworn in along with 3 new firefighters. Mayor King, can you give us the new interim fire chief name, please?
Interim Chief Worley, thank you for your update, Councilman Smith. He is an East Cleveland, he's one of our own, graduated from Shaw. His mother still stays in the city. He's been with the city over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we are really excited to have him moving up in the ranks. Worley.
Worley, W-O-R-L-E-Y, Brandon King. Is that how you spell his last name?
Yeah, don't quote me on the spelling, but it's something like that, Worley.
Well, if I can, Brother Smith, Brother
Yes,
King, what happened to Mike Salika?
So Mike Saliga has resigned.
Oh, okay. Well, do we need to recognize and do something for him? How long has he been with us?
So he's been with us, again, don't quote me, but I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 years. And we will work on recognition or something to say thank you to him when the time comes.
Well, make sure you include council. So now we don't have Mike Salika and we don't have Mike Cardelli. So things are changing up there, huh? In the health department, huh?
It's all about safety, safety first.
Absolutely. Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, also we have 4 new police officers, a rental registration agent, and a new safer grant employee. So those are new general updates.
Brother Smith, Mayor King, did you swear these new police officers in already?
So yes, we have sworn them in.
Well, I always ask that you include the council so we can meet these guys.
Okay, my apologies. I believe that there are no new police officers. If I'm not mistaken, they're part-time existing police officers. So my apologies. I still should have invited you to that, and I will.
So now they're full-time, Brandon King?
So what happens is, in order to help with our enforcement of traffic, we've reached out to the union. We've made arrangements so that we can bring in police officers from other cities to come here and work part-time traffic. So they're already police officers.
Okay.
They're just now here part-time. And matter of fact, there's one police officer you may know because he worked here maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Okay. Did we, and I know it's a question, but I need to ask this. When we passed September 1st, when we made the change, we passed to change the speed limit on Euclid. Didn't we vote on that? Brandon?
I'd have to check. I remember we talked about it
in Juneteenth.
a number of times.
Okay, I know we voted on it, but there's nothing was ever done that particular day. I remember it because it was September 1st.
Yeah, I'd have to look back through the records. That was a kind of a tumultuous time, so I'm not sure what happened.
Okay,
or what
can you
became
plan
of things that were passed.
if I come, I'll plan on coming to see you tomorrow. So could you see if you can plan that out for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. That's it,
Councilman
Brother
Smith, can I
Smith.
ask a question?
Thank you. Councilman Martin, I have the minutes from that day. You want me to drop a copy off in your mailbox?
Oh, are they accurate though, Brother Smith? Okay.
Corinne,
Are they
you
accurate?
have to call and
Wow.
ask your president, Councilman Martin.
Uh,
The president typed them out, my brother.
That is,
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
all right.
All right. Next,
Yes,
we
yes.
have remarks of our great
Councilor Smith, can I
public.
make one more comment?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Great. So since I am a voting member of the committee, I want to make sure that we kind of do a few of the other things that have been missed in the past. So what we would like for our employees to start doing is getting their annual evaluations and actually having a pulse on how they're doing and the things as we get better as a city, kind of write those into some performance evaluations so that if we expect the police to have a certain standard of behavior and performance, we need to be able to write that into something besides a standard operating procedure provided by the police chief. So these are things that we want to inspire our directors to do as a part of taking care of their people. We were able to recently give some folks some bonuses, and those evaluations oftentimes can line up with those bonuses. Then that way, if there's somebody that is a rising star, they can be recognized at a rising star level. And that's a part of the city business that we want to start, getting together. And as we move forward and have to increase our size of the population working for the great city of East Cleveland, we actually have a building plan. That means that we have a document that we say these are our personnel numbers today, and these are the personnel numbers for the future. And as we start doing the personnel action, then there's no challenging those actions as agreed on. Because right now there's been some personnel challenges because we don't have the right, it's my opinion, and I don't know all the specifics as to what we actually have on the books because I've not dug that deep yet. However, if we put a plan in place to justify each of the positions within our city, there's no challenge from any other department, any other body of government, period. So there's no misnomers, there's no misunderstanding. Somebody didn't have to think about it. This is the document that we've written up based on our personnel needs for the city of East Cleveland. And that's where I'd like to get to within this committee in the near future. Your thoughts, sir? That's all I have.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree. Anything to make the committee work like a well-oiled machine to serve the health, interest, rights, and needs of the people. Anything to positively benefit the people. Yes, Mayor King, absolutely.
Council Chairman, thank you. Thank you, Councilman. So you did a great job on updating personnel and appointments. I had a few on my list to add to your report, if you don't mind.
Please do, thank you.
So the interim fire chief is David Worley, W-O-R-L-E-Y. W-O-R-L-E-Y. I'd like to report that our EMS have been vaccinated. So they've received their vaccine. Police, per the governor's request, has been pushed back. So far, only the EMS have been vaccinated. Tomorrow, we're bringing in special counselors to meet with the police to kind of what my understanding is when a police person, individual, or his partner go through a shooting incident that we had, there's often trauma involved with the recovery, not just of the police officer, but his partner that may have been in the car and or other police who showed up on the scene. So as you know, we have a recent that we're dealing with, and then we have a not too distant recent shooting that happened up on Superior that we're also dealing with. So we're bringing in counselors to meet with the police tomorrow. I think they'll be here tomorrow and Thursday to kind of talk to them and kind of counsel them as to getting back into the safety force realm. Our employee handbook should be finished in March. We're shooting for a date of March 1st to get that done. So you did mention the building and housing van. I believe you mentioned the police paddy wagon. We're expecting to receive those this Friday in case council wants to come by and take a look at them. You did pass a legislation approving them. And the Silverado for the fire marshal, I don't think, I have it in my notes, but I'm not sure if that will be here Friday or not. You did mention the tow yard is up and running and we've added new staff. You've got 3 full-time, 2 part-time. And you did mention the fact that the county is closing their dispatch and we're bringing it in-house. So if you know of people who are interested in the dispatch positions, we have them all posted. Councilman Smith, that concludes my further updates to your report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Now we have comments from our great residents.
I need to know if we are getting rid of critter control and finding another agency that does come out for a cheaper price than what they're charging, due to the fact that their price is outrageous in order to get some type of safety toward our homes, because raccoon season is terrible over here by this field, because people walk through this field and feed the animals, because this is where they throw their food when they cut through. Basically, that's all.
Thank you. Mayor King, would you like to respond to that, please?
Thank you, Councilman. Critter control, it would depend on the type of critter that we're dealing with. I would assume we're looking at mice and rats. This time of the year, a lot of the other ones are hibernating and are asleep. And the county does that. I would suggest to the resident that has a concern to call the county and kind of stress your concern over there. Maybe get some cats. If you want to come into my office, we can see about getting some cats or some type of measures to help assist you over there to go along with what the county is doing, as well as what you, the resident, are doing to secure your premises in your area. I hope that addresses what your question was.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor King. Do we have any more comments from our residents? Hearing none, in closing, I believe my colleagues had their closing. Was that you all's closing statement?
Are you, Brother Smith, are you asking for closing statements now
Yes, sir.
from City Council?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to close with thank you for the meeting. I also want to say that I'm hoping that Mayor Brandon King provides the questions that we had a good, strong conversation about today, and that helps us to move on the budget. If those questions are answered, I can move on. It's the very basic questions, and I'm quite sure Brandon would take care of that. So I'm saying, okay, thank you.
And I'm gonna hold you accountable to moving this forward once we get you that
Once
information.
my questions are answered, I'm talking about all of them. They're basic, simple questions. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Austin?
Yes, thank you very much, Councilman Smith. As we take a look at, realizing the vision for 2021, I want to applaud the team for continuing to fight in the right direction. Maybe not always straightforward, but fighting in the right direction nonetheless. Councilor Smith, this is
Yes,
a
sir.
very, very informative and important meeting. So as you've interfaced with a lot of the departments to this point, I would like to partner with you in continuing to interface with each department to find out what their personnel needs are. And so that we can continue to inform the residents what those needs are for the future. And again, not be surprised by additional requirements during the next budget assessment, if you will. So thank you very much. Job well done. Looking forward to more in the future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Excuse me situation. Thank you all. Look forward to working with you in the future. Really want to thank all of our residents who attended tonight. Check on your health, interests, rights, and needs. Look forward to you next time. Remember, all committee meetings are very important, just as important as our regular council meetings. Example, as we went over and discussed, the importance of the professional services of the city. We discussed that in short today, and we'll be discussing that in every upcoming committee meeting. Thank you very much. The personnel and appointments meeting, I want to thank our clerks as well. At 7:01, the personnel and appointments committee meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
You and good night.
Good night.
Good night.